The Bully Girl Magazine podcast is your dog-eared audio destination, bookmarking the most compelling tales and insights from the vast canine universe. While we passionately dive in the world of bully breeds, dispelling myths, offering training tips, and discussing breed standards, our scope isn't limited. We cast our net wide to encompass a diverse range of dog breeds, ensuring no tale is left untold. Enhanced by expert interviews and inspiring stories, this podcast is a beacon for responsible ownership and breed education. It's where bully breed enthusiasts meet the broader dog-loving community, fostering unity, understanding, and shared joy in every bark and wag. So whether you're out walking your dog or listening at home, enjoy the show and keep coming back. Hi, I'm Lisa Davis. So glad you are listening or watching the Bully Girl Magazine podcast. Joining us today is Aurea Giacomelli, owner of Samba Kennels located in Texas. Aurea, welcome to the Bully Girl Magazine podcast.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you for the invitation. I'm very happy to be here.
So nice to have you on. Oh my gosh, that puppy is so cute. Tell us all about him or her.
Well, this is a boy. This is a breeding that I did recently. And the interesting thing about him is that we don't know who the sire is yet because I did a multi-sire breeding.
Oh, talk to us about that.
Yes, absolutely. I did a breeding with Lily. She's a beautiful female. And the breeding with Klaus, which is my boy from the picture, went really well. Like, the puppies are amazing. They are everything that I expected and more. And Lily has such a Klaus is from Brazil, Lily's from here, and she has genetic power of producing amazing pups. And I have 3 studs that I wanted to try her, but I don't want to be breeding her another 3 times. So what I did, I said, I'm going to repeat Klaus because I have a waiting list for this litter. And, but I'm also going to throw some semen there from the other daddies, because I do my own artificial insemination. So I did that. We for sure have one that is not from Klaus because he's a lilac tribe and Klaus does not produce diluted colors. So that one for sure. This one could be from the other one. So I have a DNA testing sending out today. I just swapped them and we will see. In about 2 weeks, I should have the results.
Oh, how exciting. Oh my gosh.
So he could be from Klaus too, but he could also be from Berlin. He's a chocolate tribe boy from Brazil too.
He is beautiful. If you can put him a little more in front of you, we'd love to get a great look at him.
Yes, he's amazing. He's got huge bones.
Yes, very broad.
He's super thick.
Oh,
beautiful
he's gorgeous.
head. And he's very calm. So far, like, he's super calm. He might get a little anxious in a little bit because it might be time to eat. But yeah, he's super calm.
Oh, he is beautiful. And I love his little sounds. Well, tell us a bit about Klaus. I know that you're very well known for him.
Yes, Klaus is a boy that I imported from Brazil. He's my main stud here in Samba Kennels. He's a black fawn dog. As you can see in the painting there, a friend of mine gave me that painting.
Beautiful.
He's very muscular. He's got a lot of breed type, and that's, I think, the most important thing that I look for in my program. I search for breed type. I don't care too much about size, about color. And that was the funny thing, in the world of everybody was looking for tries and merles. I import this fawn dog that came and changed the whole game, Yeah. And the funny thing is that my puppies from him, the first ones to sell are the fawns now, because everybody wants a copy,
Yeah.
And he's been producing dogs that are very, very similar to him. The males, most of the males when they come like fawn color, they look a lot like him.
Oh, wow. He's
gorgeous. I have one here too. He's 6 months old now.
Oh my gosh, your little puppy is so special. Now, do any of your dogs, Aurea, do anything funny, silly, or different that makes you laugh or smile?
Yes, absolutely. I have a boy, my first bully, his name is Chuck Norris.
That makes me laugh and smile. Just the name.
Chuck is from Texas, and I wanted a strong name. Yeah. And he's my baby. He's a sweetheart. He's 3.5 years old. And he's a jumper. He will jump anything. I have a video of him in my Instagram and TikTok of him jumping. I had a growing heat on my last kennel. He jumped over 5 kennels. But when he was supposed to get to hers, and he jumped over the Klaus didn't care. Berlin got a little, is another male. I mean, he's more dominant, and he got a little stressed out, but he didn't attack. My dogs are very well socialized amongst them, each other. Okay. And I heard a commotion when Berlin growled at him and said, "Hey, what are you doing here?" Klaus was like, "Hey, buddy, did you come for a visit? Cool." Just relaxing. And then on the next kennel that he jumped, there was a female. That was fine. And then the third kennel was Berlin, which is a dominant male, but they didn't fight. But he growled at him. So I was in the kitchen and I heard. So I ran out there and I saw that he had jumped. And I said, how did he do that? So I went to my cameras and I posted a video of him jumping, like so easy. I should have named him Spider-Man or something, you know?
Oh my God, that is such a great story. Now,
Yes.
Oria, when did your love of dogs begin? And then when did your love of bully breeds begin?
Well, I've been breeding dogs officially for 17 years,
Oh, wow.
but I've had dogs all my life. And my first breed is Dogo Argentino. I still
Oh,
breed them. And I've worked around the world with them because I'm also a shipper. I have a shipping international dog shipping company
oh, wow.
because of my dogos, because I started exporting them to other countries when I was still living in Brazil, and I had a lot of demand for my puppies because I do have a lot of grand champions. We have a vice world champion.
Oh,
We have champions in 51 countries right now.
oh my gosh, that must feel so amazing.
Yes, and when I brought the Dogos to the United States, it was their first year recognized by AKC, and I had the number 4 grand champion in that year, number 1 female by AKC, and also I had 2 champions in the same Westminster show, best female number 1 and best female number 2 of the Westminster 2021.
Well, congratulations. That's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah, that's the ribbon that you see over there, the red one.
Right.
And
Wow.
my client that bought a dog from me, he was in the same show with his girl, and we got first and second place.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. That is
Yes.
wonderful. Oh my gosh, you're so squirmy. Yeah, if you can hold them up a little bit more. Yeah, that's perfect. Just want to make sure we can see.
Are you
Oh my
getting
gosh.
hungry?
I know, I know. I'll try to move this along. Talk to us about the socialization of your puppies. What do you do?
Well, the socialization start really early. I always keep them together, and we start the potty training really soon. I try to have in their own crate the area for the potty training, and then the next
Hmm.
step are the toys and and the food. Amongst them, I try to keep them always together, even when they're eating. When they get a little older, I do some training like socializing in public places. We do travel with dogs a lot. So anytime I have a chance to travel with one of my puppies or even traveling with my puppies to deliver to my clients, they are trained already to go on the plane. And
Oh,
yeah, so I think that the home, work is very important before going to the clients. We try to potty train them, make sure that they're socialized with other dogs.
wow.
And that for me, the experiencing, living every day and the consistency of training them every day, that's what makes it easier for the client when they get the puppy. Sometimes we don't have much time because I deliver my puppies at 8 weeks. Um, Most of them when they're sold, but if we do have a puppy or two that get a little older with us, we make sure that they are fully trained.
Oh, that is great. Now that's an XL puppy, an XL bully
Yes,
puppy.
they are
Okay.
XLs. Yeah, I breed XLs.
Oh, that is great. Now,
Mhm.
what is the whelping process like for them? Are they delivered usually by C-section or natural?
Yes, they can deliver naturally, but I do prefer going to C-sections. Depending, the Brazilian girls, it's funny because the Brazilian girls, they're easy to go to a natural birthing. Um, they deliver naturally because they have more influences of American Pit Bull Terrier in Brazil.
Oh, I
We
love
are
the pit
we
bulls.
are a newer breed in Brazil than it is here,
Hmm.
so the mixes are still closer to these puppies than they are here because it's a newer breed. So having the influence of American Pit Bull Terriers, of course, it makes it easier because they have the anatomy is better, the even the cardio
Hmm.
respiratory system is better to have natural birthing,
Right,
and the body anatomy, of course. But
right.
with my American girls, I never take a chance. I always take them to the vet for a C-section because all of them that I had, I tried, well, not that I tried to have a natural, but one of them had it in a Sunday and I couldn't find a vet around here to do it. So she delivered. She delivered 15 puppies
Oh my.
2 years ago. But unfortunately, at the end, most of them were dead because it took her so long to get through,
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but it happens. I mean, it is experience. And from then
Sure.
on, I decided to always have a C-section for the XL bullies, no
Yeah.
matter what. Even
Now,
my Brazilian girls too. I just take
oh,
them because I like the natural whelping and the natural birthing or I'm sorry, the natural delivery because it brings the instincts, the mother instincts a lot faster.
hmm.
But I have to wait on a benefit, what is best for
Right.
everybody. And I think in my scale there, I think going to a C-section has more benefits than not,
Yes.
than
Yeah, I totally see what you're saying. Now talk to us about food. What do you feed
well,
your dogs?
I've been feeding my dogs for the last couple of years with raw diet, with a blend of raw diet and kibble and some supplements. That's about it. But I make my own raw. I have a
Oh,
grinder.
nice.
Yes, we grind about uh, maybe 150 pounds a week of dog meat, of chicken meat.
I knew what you
Sorry,
meant.
guys. Listen, my English is second language.
Oh
Sometimes
no, you're doing
I
great.
get, and my mind is always thinking fast. So sometimes I
Right.
mix the chicken meat. So, leg quarters, thighs with the bones. I grind it, and then with veggies. Um, sometimes I add oats or rice. Rarely I add rice, usually more oats, especially for the moms when they're whelping, because it's really good for their milk.
Yeah.
And I add a couple of supplements that it's in the market that I really
Oh, what
enjoy.
supplements do you like?
I use New Vet Joint and New Vet Plus, which is the joint is for the for older puppies for the joint support for
Yeah.
the pasterns and their growth, because they grow so fast.
Yeah.
And for everybody I give New Vet Plus, which is a little powder. They also have wafers, so it's easy for the adults. They love those wafers like a treat. But for the babies, I start on mush. My mush, I make it myself. It's a Leerburg
Oh,
formula. I'm sure that you understand Leerburg formula.
yeah. But tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, the Leerburg formula is goat's milk, 1 cup of goat's milk, 1 cup of whole milk plain yogurt, 1 yolk. Okay, just the yolk, and 2 tablespoons of Caro syrup, the corn syrup, Caro,
Oh,
that
yeah.
sugar.
Okay. Yeah.
I always, since they are 1 or 2 days old, I add canned pumpkin, two spoons, depending on the on how young they are, 2 or 3 spoons of pumpkin, and then after this age, I can start adding the powder, just a little bit of that supplement, because it's very abundant of every type of nutrients that you can imagine that sometimes, the dog food is lacking, or
Right.
even the mom's milk, so.
Yeah. Wow, that's impressive.
Thank you. Yes, it's really good.
That
It's
is.
really good. It saved me. And I do tube feed them. I also have a tube feeding video on my
Mhm.
on my on my Instagram and my Facebook,
Oh,
with
nice.
some tips about tube feeding, because it saves lives. If you can
Wow.
do it, sometimes having bottles, because Lily, she doesn't have too much milk for the number of puppies that she always
Yeah.
has. So I decided to tube feed them just to give them a supplement. And so I make this little Leerburg formula, and they love it. And look how they look good.
They look amazing. I
Yes.
want to talk about that because I've done a lot of interviews. No one's brought that up. So when you're saying tube feeding, is that from like a little squeezy kind of tube? Or I'm thinking of a dropper.
No, the tube feeding is actually, it's a little more invasive, so you gotta have some experience to do it, or have some guidance by someone that's experienced. I do not recommend that you do it without talking to your vet.
Okay.
I've been breeding for 18 years almost, so I recently started tube feeding, because I was never very courageous to do it. I was always afraid of hurting the puppy. So it is a tube about this long, and you have to measure from the top of the nose until the last rib right here,
Mm.
and then you make a marking with a permanent marker, or with a duct tape. I usually use duct tape around it. You use a syringe, and then you're gonna open the mouth really slowly, put the tube in the tongue, and let the baby swallow the tube.
Oh,
With
wow.
the syringe already filled, of course, you have to take the air out of the tube, and then you're going to feel it. And because you already measured, you know exactly where to get, because it's going to go directly to the stomach.
Wow.
If you see the puppy struggling, or if there's any milk coming out of the nose while you're squeezing the syringe, make sure that you take it out immediately, because it could be in the wrong spot. But usually you have to understand your puppy um, uh, sounds to make sure
Right.
that it's in the right place. A bottle is like 20 minutes to feed. With this, there's no risk of aspiration like they do in bottles, and it only takes a minute to squeeze the syringe in there.
It
little
sounds like
system.
something that I would feel. I mean, would you want to have a vet help you first or someone mentor you?
Yes,
Because it
definitely,
seems kind of
definitely.
scary.
And most vets, they will teach you how to tube feed.
Okay.
It's very, they are very forward to it. In
Hmm.
Brazil, no. In Brazil, they're like, no, I don't know if you can do it. For this, for other things in Brazil is a little bit more relaxed, but for tube feeding, I feel that the veterinarians actually, they don't see any risks. So as long as they teach you how to do it, and you take one of your puppies and ask them to teach you, because it's a lifesaver. It's amazing.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, I'm glad oh my gosh. He is
Oh,
so, does he have a name?
no, not yet.
Oh,
We're
is he
waiting for the.
available?
No, he's mine.
Oh, I know you
This
said
one,
you have a waiting list. I can see why.
yes, this one is my pick.
Oh,
I
he's
do have a
beautiful.
male from Klaus, and that I am going to sell probably because I love keeping my males.
Yeah.
And I have 5 girls. So
Oh,
I'm not advertising this litter very much because I want
okay.
to have the DNA enhanced before I do that. I
Right.
have it on my website, the ones that I know for sure that belongs to him because of
Hmm.
the color genetics. I
Right.
understand that he cannot produce lilacs, but he can produce this color. So the
I
lilac
see.
girl for sure is not from Klaus. And everybody that is watching, this is very common and it's accepted by the registries all over the world. And I've been doing this, especially in Dogo Argentino. They are always white. And because they're always white, I did a couple of times. I was not lucky though, because they were all from the same sire. And it's very common that this happens. There's always a
Oh,
dominant sire when you do a dual sire or a multi-sire breeding. But in this breeding, for sure, I got 3 black tries. Black tries can only be produced by him. And I got 2 fawns. For sure, it's not from the lilac boy because the mom is a lilac.
oh, yeah.
And but I have to check that girl and I have to check him because I had 3 sires used.
Oh, wow. That makes
Yes.
me think of the movie Mamma Mia, where you know the story of Mamma Mia? It's where there's
I haven't seen it. My daughter watched it and she loves it.
oh, it's really fun. It's basically, and I know a lot about it because my daughter was in the school play a few years ago, but it's basically where there's one woman and she has slept with 3 different men, and then her daughter is trying to figure out which man is her father. So she invites him to her wedding, and pandemonium ensues. And anyway, which
Oh,
is the father?
I have to watch that now.
Yes, now it's very applicable, and it's a fun movie. It's really fun.
Absolutely. Well, thankfully in canine genetics, I mean, we do in humans too, but it's very common to have, and it was very easy process. I sent ABKC a notification that I did a multi-sire breeding.
Mm,
They asked me how many puppies. Of course, I waited till the puppies were born so I would know how many tests I would need.
right.
So they sent me the swabs for 11 dogs, which means the 7 puppies, the mom, and the 3 sires.
Oh, okay. Oh, I can't wait. Well, you're gonna have to tell us what happens. That's so interesting.
Yes, it is
So
very
interesting.
interesting.
Now, you mentioned that you're not really advertising that much. You mentioned you have a waiting list, but
Yes.
so right now, do you have any puppies
No,
available
I
or,
do.
oh,
I
you
do.
do?
Yeah, I
Well,
have
walk
a
us
wait.
through that process of getting one from you.
No, absolutely. We do have certain people waiting for dogs that are a little older because some breeders would prefer to buy them when they're ready. So I
Yeah.
do have a couple of keepers that I keep to see if they turn out for shows or for breeding. I do have a few pups available on my website, sambakennels.com, under available puppies. And this litter, because I didn't advertise, I still haven't advertised. I just put it on my website. And I just made stories about the multi-sire breeding because I do like to upload content that is
Yeah.
educational for my followers. And then some people started it here and there, and I did have a couple of reservations, but the other puppies are available, and probably they will be gone as soon as I upload it, especially from this guy here that's snoring right behind me, which is
I bet.
Klaus.
He's a
Yes.
beauty.
Yes, and especially because this litter we already had a litter from this couple, and the puppy sold out at 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and there were 10 of them, and I kept 3, and the other 7 were all sold out very, very quickly. And I do some co-ownership sometimes.
Hmm.
I do have a couple of co-ownerships with the last litter because I don't want to let them go, but this way is a way of me not keeping all of them here because I do have a
Right.
limited space, even though I live on a 5-acre ranch. My infrastructure is limited for the number
Right.
of dogs that I have. So I can't really keep them all, although I want to.
I
So
bet.
I am open to co-ownership. But then there's a few guidelines that I follow when it comes to a few criteria that I like to establish before accepting a co-ownership.
Yeah, that makes sense. So if I wanted to get a puppy from you, I would find you online and then could do some
Yes,
paperwork and yeah, tell us a
absolutely.
little bit
You
more.
can probably the best place to find me and to see my content and to get to know more about my dogs is on my Instagram page, which is Samba Kennels, or samba.bullies, which is my backup account because Instagram is unreliable.
Yeah.
But mostly in my website, sambakennels.com, we have a list of all my studs. I'm also known from bringing bloodlines from Brazil, where I am from, so forgive
Nice.
my accent.
Oh, please,
Um,
it's beautiful.
Thank you. I do have a lot of knowledge there. Like I said, I've been working with transport, and before I became a bully breeder, I also did a lot of transport for bully breeders. So I know a
Oh,
lot of people there
wow.
and here. Been transporting for I think 8 years now, and I've transported for many bully breeders, and I know a lot of people in Brazil, so I started bringing the best bullies from Brazil, and people love that because it's different. It
Yeah,
comes from a different gene pool,
definitely.
for an option of an outcross. I have amazing dogs here, but I also have some from the American blood.
Now, what was it like for you to leave Brazil and come to the US?
Well, for me, it was easy because I was always traveling.
Oh,
Before I moved here, I came here 38 times. I landed in the United States for travel for work. About 42 in Europe, 12 times in Asia, um, Russia about 15 times, because these countries
wow.
are, the dog business is very strong. And I had a lot of buyers, and not only from Brazil, but sometimes clients that from Russia that were buying from the US. So I would do, Russia, US, and then I would take a dog from Korea to Spain and from Spain to Bangkok. So I traveled the world, but I was always here. I had a lot of clients here. I have a lot of friends here. So United States culture was very easy for me
Oh, good.
until one day I found someone and I got married. And
Oh,
then I couldn't escape coming here.
oh my goodness. Well, I'm so glad you're here. I think you're wonderful. What do you think of
Thank you.
Bully Girl magazine?
I love it. I wish I could have more access to it. Sometimes I was interviewed by it once, right?
Hmm.
A long time ago. And my story was about the same then, but I didn't have Klaus yet. So
Oh,
things changed a lot since then. Not my past, but from then on, a lot has changed. And I'm very grateful that you guys are here. I see wonderful interviews, and I love the fact that you give emphasis to the women in this community, which is led by men. And
yeah.
you got to be twice. I always say you got to be twice as good to
Hmm.
survive in an industry where men is usually uh, the most active
Right.
people.
Yeah.
And I love the way that you guys um, makes us stars. Always interviewing the right people, and a lot of content. And I can't thank you enough for inviting me for this interview.
Oh, well, I've loved it. And your puppy is so good. And she is just, or he is just absolutely beautiful. Tell us one more time where we can find you, Oria.
That's my website. There's all my information there: telephone number, email, contact form. Um, Facebook is Samba Kennels, and Instagram is Samba Kennels.
All right. Well, this has been delightful. And your puppy is beautiful. And
Thank you.
oh my God, Klaus is gorgeous as well. I was lucky to get a sneak peek of Klaus
Yeah,
before we
Klaus, come
started.
here. Klaus, do you want to come here, Bubble? Come here, baby.
Let's see.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
over there.
oh,
Come here, Bubble.
we'll have to
Oh,
go on your
see?
Instagram and
I'm
check him
sorry?
out. We'll have to go on your Instagram and check out Klaus. We can see
Yes.
him painting behind you. So that's
Yes,
nice.
he's right here snoring and he doesn't want to get up, but you got to
Trust
see him
me.
a little earlier.
Yes, he is absolutely stunning. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching the Bully Girl Magazine podcast or listening. Also, be sure to go to bgmwarehouse.com. You can get my shirt. Well, not my shirt. This one's mine. You can get lots of great stuff, hats, sweatshirts, racerback tees, and make sure to subscribe to the magazine. Also, you can follow Bully Girl Magazine on Instagram at Bully Girl Mag. You can follow me at Lisa Davis MPH, and be sure to go to the Google Play and the App Store and get the Bully Girl mobile app. Everybody, thanks so much. Have a great day.